Welcome, welcome, welcome. Stop it, Mike. It is Saturday morning, and you know it's
Wait a
time
minute,
for
Mike, you taking a bath in the big house?
Yeah.
So, look, ladies and gentlemen, you know the gang is back in because I can't get the intro out. Y'all want to try this again?
I just paid attention to that. That's like Mike taking a bath, got the tub in the back.
Right. He got the Swami seats and the moist towelettes in the back. All right, PL Culture, Michigan Michael Hasso, Tasha T. Sizzle in the house. The gang is back together. Welcome back. Where dreams are something like some Similac. Welcome back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back in the building. It's time for another day of sports.
Yeah, we tease him a lot because we got him. I'm sorry.
Welcome back. It's so good to have all three of us back in the building. Got a lot of stuff to get into this morning. Let's get right to it. Okay, so y'all, this week, Team USA, they started exhibition play out in Vegas as they ramp up their tune-ups for preparation for the Summer Olympics in Paris in a couple of weeks. They look good, but one member that will not be making the trip to Paris is Mr. PTO himself, Mr. Kawhi Leonard, who done had to take a short flight from Vegas back to LA because he will not be participating. Raise your hands if you're surprised. Okay, since no one is surprised, let's go to you, Tasha T. Sizzle. Let's get right to it. Tasha T. Sizzle, and good morning to you, Denise. Tasha T. Sizzle, is Kawhi Leonard now replacing Anthony Davis as the new face of street clothes?
Nope.
Why not, Tasha?
First of all,
how
old is Anthony Davis?
He's younger than Kawhi. I don't have that number right in front of me.
So when Kawhi was effective and when he was out there winning his championships, he wasn't in his street clothes.
When he was in Toronto?
When he was in San Antonio and Toronto, he wasn't in his street clothes. When he on the back tail end of his career, and everybody knows that. AD way younger and stay getting out the shower with a towel on, sitting on the bench.
Mr. Mike.
Breakfast tea.
Okay, well, make your breakfast tea and get your click-clack on while Michigan Mike chimes in here. Mike, is Kawhi Leonard the new face of street clothes? Is he the new PTO Joe? Michigan Mike, what are your thoughts?
I don't think so. Not yet. But he's getting there. I mean, we look at the end of their season, too. I mean, he was out some of the playoff games. And he's missing this, which is pretty big. He missed, 8 of the last regular season games or something like that. It's not AD caliber, but then again, AD played in the playoffs. So, I don't know.
Right. And Mike, to your point, to back you up, he's only played in 2 playoff games in each of the last 2 seasons, and both in which the Clippers fell short of expectations. You load manage him, he's out. You play him 68 games like you did last year, he's out. He's over there and going to Paris. Oh, no, he's not. Tasha, rounding back to you. Now, the Clippers just gave Kawhi a 3-year, $152 million extension, $50 million a year, but they didn't have any money to pay Paul George. Did they pay the right man, Tasha?
I mean, I don't really trust in Paul George either. He don't really show up when it counts.
Wow. Langston. Well, we're going to save that comment that you just made for later in the show. Make sure y'all stick around for later in the show because Tasha's my guy vet. Don't let her fool you. We got proof.
I mean,
go ahead, Tasha.
This is my thing. Because they're only like 2 or 3 years age difference in them. My thing is when Kawhi was really needed the most at the beginning of his career, he did what he was supposed to do. He deserves to sit over there with his street clothes on. AD didn't do nothing in the beginning of his career but complain, tout his way to get to LA, won a bubble championship, and he's been on the bench more than Kawhi. And he hasn't had the type of injuries that Kawhi has had. In that one playoff game, remember, didn't Kawhi tear like his what did he tear? When what's the name stepped on his foot or he landed?
Oh, yeah. It kind of ripped up his ankle and calf. Very severe. Right
since he's had a viable injury, a real injury. AD ain't really had no real injury like that would warrant him to be sitting on the bench all the time. But I don't look. they're holding on to what they think can be when it comes to the Clippers, which is why they paid Kawhi that money. They know Paul George, like Paul George gonna say, well, y'all said we was equal. Come on, PG, you know you ain't equal to Kawhi. Not on your best day. You put them up when they 100% healthy. Y'all not equal.
Well, Kawhi did average 24 and 6. I mean, in 68 games this year. Now, Jarrell coming in hot, saying he's about as dependable. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Nice hat, though, Jarrell. Good morning, AP Culture. Mike, if you're Steve Ballmer, Mr. The owner of the Clippers, would you have paid Kawhi over Paul George given their playing statuses?
Yeah, I think you have to. I mean, still, when Kawhi is healthy, he's way better than Paul George. And to Tasha's point, Paul George ain't nobody in the playoffs either. So, like, at least Kawhi's been there, done that. And if he is hurt, he can at least pass some wisdom off. I hear in the locker room he, jokes, and he's definitely a leader in the locker room. So I'm gonna keep that.
Okay. All right. So you basically led me into my next question. Now, we know Steve Ballmer and the Clippers are moving into a new stadium. You kind of have to have a marquee name if you're trying to sell season tickets to a new stadium. Kawhi Leonard will be Ghost in April because we all know that he's only there for the check now. But good luck to the Clippers. Now, his replacement caused a big stir as well this week. Now, Grant Hill and the boys decided to select Boston Celtics guard Derek White as the replacement for Kawhi, when there was another guard on the team by the name of Jaylen Brown, who was Eastern Conference MVP in the playoffs. He was the Finals MVP. Brown felt a certain type of way about that, firing off a series of tweets to Team USA and to Nike, who was the sponsor of Team USA. Mike, do you think it's in poor taste for Jaylen Brown to voice his displeasure when one of his teammates goes on the roster ahead of him?
I think so. It's a little salty. But I mean, at this day and age, I mean, it's all about voicing your opinion and like it is what it is type of thing. So they're gonna do what they're gonna do. But I personally think it's in poor taste. Yeah.
Tasha, do you agree? Should Brown have kept his mouth off his teammate?
That's why he ain't on the team.
No,
I'm serious because I have been like hearing the reason why they don't want him or possibly a Kawhi or somebody like that is because of they're scared of what they're going to say when it comes to political type things. Because, they don't hold their tongue.
Great point. Great point.
What's a better stage to get off your political takes than on the Olympic stage?
Great point. And to your point, Tasha, he did have some very discouraging remarks for Nike when when Kyrie Irving was going through his issue in Brooklyn with some of the controversial things that was going on with Kawhi. Jaylen Brown was one of the vocal supporters of Kyrie, who's also not on the team, by the way. And with Nike being a sponsor, that's a great point because that's the last thing you want if you're Team USA, to have someone go on a global stage and basically take a big dump on you. Mike, did they pick the right guy, though, in Derek White? Would you have liked to see someone else on the team instead of him?
Man, I was thinking about this. I'm kind of old school. I would have liked just to randomly see like a Kyrie, just the season that he had, right. Just to go and throw it back, run it back one more time. That's probably my vote.
Now, Langston says it's not personal. I think if he thinks he deserves it, say it. F Council culture. Now, Tasha, you're more along those lines in your everyday walk of life that you're going to say what you mean and mean what you say in that regard, I'm saying. But who would you have liked to see instead of Derek White? Because nobody wants to see Derek White.
I mean, to be honest, it doesn't matter because we're going to win anyway.
Yes, we are. Yes.
I mean, I'm just I mean, in certain, I mean, like I said, we joke about how Larry Bird was basically laying down on the towel and laying on his back when he was over there, but we didn't need Larry Bird to win in 92. Even though the world has come up when it comes to basketball skills.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that position is covered. Like, it is what it is.
Right. So he's just going to be an ancillary piece to get out there.
I think he won anyway. Yes. He got the gold without even going to the Olympics.
He had the cakes. Now, AP Culture agrees with you, Mike and Tasha. He said them rocks in his jaws leaves a bad taste in sponsors and teammates' mouths. I'm not paying $1 billion to sponsor a global event for you to get out there and crap on my product. As a businessman, that's just not going to happen.
I don't necessarily think it would be the Nike. I really think it's the political type thing. Because remember when George Floyd and all was like, he was one of the most vocal. Yeah, and even now he still says what he needs to say when it's concerning Black Lives Matter and things that he feels are not right. He opens his mouth and says it.
Right. And if you're Team USA, the Olympics is not the platform for that. Just go ahead and use your own social media. Langston says maybe Bronny. Stop playing. Bronny did have 8 points in the Summer League last night. He had that, Mike. Real quick, your thoughts on Bronny. We didn't have you on the show last week. Go ahead and drop your gem on that. What do you think about Bronny to the Lakers?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's tough, because my wife's actually a Lakers fan because she grew up on the West Coast. And I think Tasha brought this up on the show. Laker fans hate it. Like they're waiting for this rebuilding and like, hey, when are we going to actually do something? And so for them to see their team make these moves and pay him, I think they had like a side by side, like what Bronny got paid compared to like last year's same pick, and it was like astronomical.
Right.
Like it's not the same. He's not ready for that caliber of stage for that what he's getting paid. Like it's just not the same.
Right. It was the LeBron James stimulus package. So I just wanted to get you on wax with that. Langston is a diehard Lakers fan too, and he totally agrees with you on that. He thinks it was a horrible move as a Lakers fan. Jarrell says gold is ours, but one more shooter wouldn't hurt considering KD's calf injury. If I'm Team USA, I'm treating KD with kid gloves as well, because I do think with no Slovenia in there, with no Argentina in the pool this year, like the USA drew had got some things to fall in their favor, kind of like Boston did with the playoffs this year with some key people missing. There's no Luka, there's no Argentina who's giving teams fit.
Right, because them Argentines do not play when it comes to.
Yes, they play a brilliant brand of basketball.
I think USA is making a good adjustment though. You could literally have KD on the 3-point line, be like, "Hey, just take it easy. We're gonna do some pick and rolls. You chill on that 3-point line because that's European ball. Let's be real. We already have some people that could drive the lane. KD, chill on the 3-point line. We'll dish it out to you. All you gotta do is shoot."
Right. And Derek White is one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA. So you can let him get out there and do the grunt work. He can make 3-pointers. He is a traditional 3-and-D type of player. And to Tasha's point, we're winning the gold anyway. You could have thrown me on the end of that roster, and we're going to still bring home that gold, considering who fell out of the – they're not going to let me play now. I'm going to take a Bronny roll now. I'm going to take a Bronny roll. I'm Robert Ory. I don't have any lateral movement.
Literally steps T.
Right. Now, also making news out of Team USA camp earlier this week was Anthony Edwards. He came out, and we know how Anthony Edwards gets down as far as the sound bites. He's a podcast platinum-bound player, in my opinion, because he always gives us something to talk about. But he made a comment to the reporters after one of the practices that he feels that he should be the go-to guy on Team USA, a team that features LeBron James, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, Joel Embiid, Jason Tatum. The list goes on and on and on. Mike, let's start with you. Do you agree with Ant-Man that he should be the go-to guy? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm a go. I like what he's saying. I like his. I mean, he's young, right? Like he's full of a locker room full of veterans, and you know me, I'm very adamant against with the term. I'm very with the term closed mouths don't get fed. And so, like, he's actually putting his name out there like, hey, like, I'm ready. If y'all need a break, y'all throw it to me. I'm the guy, So I like this move by him.
Tasha, do you like him saying that he's the go-to guy on Team USA? And do you agree with him that he should be the go-to guy?
I mean, y'all keep saying he the face of the NBA, so why not?
There's only one face of the NBA, and that face has a crown on the head.
I'm just saying. They keep saying he the face of the NBA. I mean, he has the youth factor on his side where a lot of those older cats who've been there, done that, may just want to say, yeah, let's let this young kid just take this over. We can chill, we can relax. After these 2 weeks, we're going to go on vacation anyway.
Right. Now, Jarrell says, I love Ant, but he needs to work on his stamina. He was tired in that Mavs series. See, that's what his mouth got him into when he stood in front of national audience and called out Kyrie Irving. Hey, I got Kyrie. And then Kyrie went out there and cooked him for 40 and 40 back-to-back games, basically, and ran him out the playoffs. So like old man River, old man Uncle Drew put them hands on young Ant-Man. AP Coulter says USA gold, but heck no. Steph Curry still alive and breathing. LeBron James is still alive and breathing. Hell, I'll take Joel Embiid over him. No, let me
no. I ain't taking Joel Embiid over him.
Let me roll back Joel Embiid because his health, his injuries are a concern as well. But I will take KD over Ant-Man.
And then on top of that, and if he hadn't made Team USA, he would have flipped and went to his country anyway. So no, I ain't counting him.
Okay, all right. Now, Mike said he would have liked to have seen Kyrie. I would have liked to have seen another former Mav on the roster. That's Jalen Brunson, especially for how he carried his team once all of the injuries kind of compiled throughout the playoffs. Jalen Brunson is a bad boy. I think you put him on the second unit and go out there and just let him score and create. I think that would have been a great addition. He's not much of a defender, but hey, with all those bigs, Adebayo and AD and Embiid, you should have some front rim protection there. I would have liked to see Brunson, but Brunson made headlines yesterday for what he didn't do, more so than what he did. So Brunson signed a 4-year, $156 million extension with the New York Knicks yesterday. That in itself is not big news, unless you consider the fact that by signing now and not next year, he forfeited an extra year of guaranteed pay and over $110 million. Mike, now I know you came up in the Dirk era where Dirk would constantly give back those hometown discounts to Mark Cuban, and he did ultimately win a ring later on in his career. Are you surprised that someone in this day and age would turn down $100 million to help build a roster?
Yeah, I honestly am, because this day and age, like, you're all about that guaranteed money,
right?
And that's what it's about. Like, no one else is gonna. I mean, everyone after that Pippen deal, and everyone's like, "Oh man, what you do?"
Excellent.
But I mean, it's clear that he just wants to rebuild the Knicks to win another championship, and I think he feels like he has, as a leader, he feels inclined to make this happen. And so that's just where his heart is. I personally wouldn't have done it. I would have taken that guaranteed and like, I'm going to do another season of what I did last year and get this max deal.
Right.
But I mean, that's his life, you know?
That's his life. Tasha, do you agree with Mike that that's his life? But would you have taken the money?
Hell no. It ain't like the Knicks was on the cusp of winning the East. Now you do that when you know your team is that one. Right. Let's say like, you know, y'all, why is my mind just all off? I do not know anybody's name. The Celtics, what's his name?
Jason Tatum.
Jason Tatum. Now, that's something that Jason Tatum would do because the Celtics are here. They're up there. But the Knicks, I wouldn't know. Give me my money. And then y'all owners still crazy too?
Right. Now, Jarrell makes a good point. He says Brunson turning down money makes him eligible for a Supermax sooner.
But if he does not go out here and play to his level that he did this season, no one's going to offer him that money. Like I said, a Tom Brady who, you know, over Tom Brady's career in the beginning, of course, Tom wasn't making money. Tom started making money, endorsements, this and other thing. He started getting these contracts. It didn't hurt somebody like a Tom Brady to take a pay cut.
Plus, and your wife was worth $300 million.
Exactly. Plus, the Patriots were what? Winning. When he got to Tampa, it was an end, but Tampa still won a Super Bowl.
Right.
People like that can, but no, bro. That's a high risk.
I'm going to throw out some names. Klay Thompson, Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant, all injured late in playoff seasons after a grueling season and missed a year of now, we're going to knock on some wood that Jalen Brunson remains healthy next year. But if you shred your ACL, you think you're getting a $60 million a year contract for 5 years after that? No. I'm going to agree with Mike and Tosh on this. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate my numbers from last year, regardless of where you go in the playoffs, as long as he makes all NBA team, which how can he not be one of the top 6-7 guards in the league if he plays like he did last year? I wouldn't have done that. How much money would you give up for a shot at a ring, Tasha? Well, is it just the amount that it's $100 million?
I mean, I would have to be close. Like, it would have to be a team that is close. Like if you're playing in Denver, you know Denver has a likelihood of possibly getting back. The Mavs have a likelihood of getting back.
Right.
The Knicks are not there. As much as I want to see them, do it, they're not there. It's not an amount that I'm gonna give up if my team was not even in the Eastern Conference or the West Conference Finals last year. I'm not doing that.
Right. Now, Langston said Jordan wasn't paid early either, but we didn't have the TV deals. They just signed a $76 billion TV deal with NBC and ESPN, and ABC. So there's money out there to go around. Now, last week, the buzzword of the show was nepotism. Mike, let me come to you with something real quick. Jalen Brunson's dad is on the Knicks coaching staff. The team president, Leon Rose, is his godfather. What the hell is going on with this? So you giving your godfather a hometown shaving $100 million off? Where's the bloody knife and the other glove, Tasha? Something stinks to high heaven with this. If y'all gonna get on LeBron for nepotism, damn it, I want y'all to call out the Knicks and the Brunson family as well because this stinks.
Look, it reeks of Evelyn.
Yes. This is an Evelyn situation. And ladies and gentlemen, Evelyn is a character on Martin, to where she always said somewhere smelled like cabbage. So finally, Mama Payne said, Evelyn, if everywhere we go it smell like cabbage, damn it, maybe it's you. Maybe you just stink. Okay? So when you hear Tasha say Evelyn, we're saying something just stinks here. Mike.
I mean, because what is did he give a reason? Now, my new favorite agent, he put on Twitter, he said, I know his agent was saying, don't do it, reconsider.
Right. Now, right. That's like Ghost's lawyer. Mm-hmm. I'm going to chill on that. But he says nepotism rounds with skepticism. It does, because there's always a little kind of foolishness is really going on out there.
Is that like a little hand on his shoulder? And like, hey. Right,
Mike. Come on, man. Your godfather is come on now. Now, Mike's daughter, the lovely RJ, the lovely Rhea James, I would never ask her to take $100 million pay cut for me to help do my job more effectively. As a matter of fact, Mike and Stacey wouldn't allow me to let her take $100 million pay cut to win a championship. He's like, bro, you better do your job and let her do hers. She did her job. She was damn near MVP. Do your job, bro, and build a team. Something stinks.
Well, we know when the photos come out and he in the office kissing the ring, we'll know what's going on.
Mike, let me ask you, because we just asked Tasha, how much money would you forfeit for a chance for a ring? 20 million, 50 million, 100 million? How much is a ring, and how important is a ring to you?
Well, I'm going to pull out my script because you asked her for a chance at a chip, which tells me it's not even guaranteed.
It is not guaranteed. Good catch. Good catch.
If you're going to give me a guarantee, I think if I'm an established player and I've been in the league for 10 years or whatever, now it's time for me to buckle down and get that chip. So I think it depends. But that guaranteed money, though, that's different. I mean, at least if I don't win, I could sit next to Charles Barkley and be like, hey, but we got money, though.
Yes. And Charles Barkley ain't apologizing to a damn soul for the $300 million he's made at TNT over his career with no ring. He's still one of the most polarizing and recognizable faces in all the sports. And plus, I'll just have to say this about the NBA. I'm not giving back the NBA is just as cutthroat, if not more, than the NFL. Now, the guaranteed money does give the players more leverage, but let's face it. If you're Jalen Brunson, my thinking would be all you got to do is average a double-double for a few years, and you can make the Hall of Fame in the NBA. Mm-hmm. The criteria is very low. So as long as I got my Hall of Fame jacket and I got my $400 million in my pocket, I'm Gucci, man. Damn the Knicks and that ring. Now, nepotism is all in the front office, always has been, but I'm like, there's going to be a 30 for 30 about this. There's some shenanigans going on because I don't trust James Dolan no way.
I don't trust him. That Jim Dolan, I don't trust him. Come on, he don't even let Charles Oakley. They got
right. Y'all can't let Charles Oakley get up in the stands, but
you want me to trust you?
Nah, Now nah, we can't do that. No. So anyway. Good luck to Team USA. They will begin play in a couple of weeks. Now, because we're about to start our football series, this countdown to kickoff, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to start in the world of college football because something happened a couple of days ago. And I got questions, damn it. I got some real questions because this stinks to high heaven. And I think the hypocrisy in this, as Michigan fans, is worth noting. So let's start in the city of Athens, Georgia. 2 more players, ladies and gentlemen, have been arrested for reckless driving. I think there was a third as well that may be arrested. Now, Mike sent me a shocking stat that bears noting that since January the 15th, 2023, there have been 22 incidents of driving-related issues with Georgia players. 22 since January 15th of 2023. Mike, let me start with you. How is there no smoke coming back on Kirby Smart for this? Nobody's mentioning a word about Kirby Smart.
Because he's winning. I mean,
Winning
he has
scores
championships. He's a heavy favorite, to win it again. So that's why. You win, no one cares.
Wow. Now, Mike me and Mike had a conversation about this the other day with the pre-ordering of the College 25. Good job by you, Langston. I'm Thug Flutie on PS5, man. Look me up, man, and get whooped. Get whooped one time. I'm Thug Flutie on PS5. Now, Tasha, we've been talking about Georgia for a few years now with some of the shenanigans that's going on. People have been killed. People have gotten DUI. Why are they drag racing and driving crazy in there?
Do y'all notice the accidents are usually happening on that one curve that is in Athens? All the accidents, this last DUI or whatever, because then they have like a 5-star recruit. He was riding shotgun. All the accidents are happening in and around that area.
Tasha, 22 in a year and a half.
I want to remember when you sent it to me because I was busy. So that's why I really didn't respond to you like I wanted to because I was out. But why isn't that being more policed within that football organization, within the university as a whole?
Mike, can we get to Mike's shoulder shrug?
Because the police are actually policing. The police
Right.
the police are not giving them slaps on the wrist.
Right.
The police are not, okay, y'all play for Georgia. Let's get on out of here. Wasn't nobody injured.
Right.
They're actually doing their job in this case. Why is the university as a whole not coming down? Because Georgia, they didn't win last year.
Wait, who won, Mike?
Go Blue. Yeah, I think that's the question though, Tasha. Like, why aren't they doing anything like that?
I mean, look, Georgia's
it's the Urban Meyer effect.
Georgia football is, it's top notch, but it's so much parity in college football now. Who's to say that they're going to stay there this year?
Mike, you just said that earlier this week. That run may be deuces.
Yeah, let this have been, because look how they're trying to just drag poor Shiloh. I mean, we don't know what happened, but look at how they're keeping Shiloh's name in the news about.
He whooped old Otis's ass. That's what Shiloh did.
And you 15, you got your ass beat by a 15-year-old, and now you mad.
Right. If I get beat up by a 15-year-old, I'm not telling you or Mike, and we damn sure ain't going to court and making public record.
Ain't nobody gonna know. But
no.
Yes, let that have been Harbaugh. Let that have been something that was going on up there in Ann Arbor.
Yeah.
No.
Dude gave a burger away, and NCAA want to come after us. Okay. Dude bought him a burger. Come on, man.
It wasn't even no bacon on it, Mike. And we still in litigation over that. Like a cheeseburger with pickles and lettuce and mustard. And we have to go make a deal with the NCAA. Meanwhile, Kirby Smart has 22 offenses that, let's be real, there has been one fatality as a result of this, but it could have been several. And again, my hat's off to the Athens Police Department for not being one of those complicit people that are hiding it and keeping it under wraps. They are locking these boys up.
Let it happen this year. Let it happen this year in Michigan. Let something like that, Washtenaw County, Ann Arbor, let that happen this year. Let something go afoot there.
What? Couldn't this be considered a lack of institutional control, Tasha?
Yes. And we all know what happened the last time somebody got hit with that penalty.
They just now coming back.
Thank you.
Just now coming back.
40 years to come back.
Right. Right. They look like the lady on the Titanic. I bet that's what the boosters look like now from that old Pony
Yeah,
Exception.
I don't. I mean, you got to put emphasis on like what Tasha said earlier. Like it's 22 times. Think about that. Like you're the head coach. You happen one time. All right. Okay. Let's talk about it. Okay. Mistakes happen. Okay. Second time. Hey, why y'all keep running around this corner over here, man? Hey, everyone meeting. Hey, don't drive over here no more. I don't care what y'all do. Don't drive over here no. Third time.
But
okay.
To that point,
like 22 times.
That's kind of like the only road. I do get why they go that way, because that's kind of like the main road per se. But you know it's a curve, and you know people be having wrecks, and you have lost teammates and a trainer.
Then we got a strong curfew at 10 p.m. Right. Let's go.
Why do you not exercise more caution?
Now, Tasha is the mother of a college graduate. Mike has 2 boys that will be going to college soon, if they so choose. But the path is laid out for them to go that route, which speaks to Langston says, man, it speaks to culture. Why would I send my child there? Like as a responsible parent, Mike, right. Would the championship lure blind you to all of these off-field incidents?
Absolutely not. As a parent, I'm like, no, I'd rather my kid go to Michigan. Not saying as a fan, I'm just saying Michigan because of the family that I feel and that they built there. I trust that they're going to take care of my kids. Now, if I see like some other, like they don't care what time they go to sleep, they are drinking and driving or whatever they're doing, or speed race, like, no, I'm not going to let them go there. Like, no.
Because I'm like, and exactly what you two are saying. When Sasha made the decision, because Sasha had, I think it was LSU, Mississippi State, Penn State. Those were the 3, St. John's. And then it was, the Westerns and stuff like that, Memphis. When she made her choice to go to Mississippi State, the first thing I did was start Googling. I needed to know what happens in Oktibbeha County, down there in Starksville, as the people like to say, Stark Vegas. I needed to know everything that went on down there.
Right.
Because that's my only child that I'm sending at that time was a 4.5, 5-hour drive, simply because the one road that leads you to Starkville, the speed limit is 35 miles per hour. And y'all know what we drove every time we went to Starkville? 35 miles per hour. Because the police, the sheriff's deputies were right there. But I researched what went on the campus. Is it rape? Is it maiming?
Because we've seen that at other campuses, to your point. Like,
so that's what I did when it came to my research. And I was like, okay. I said, I think she'll be, other than it being Mississippi, I was like, she'd be okay here. Because if I didn't like what I read, she probably would have had to switch that up. Right.
Now, Tasha sent her daughter to a SEC school that plays Georgia every year or every other year. So the level of campus is pretty much the same. I mean, you take away the success on the field, of course, but it's still the same brand of school as far as tier goes. I think that is a huge red flag. And back to Mike's point about Michigan, let's keep it real. Denard Robinson was beloved in Ann Arbor and with Michigan, still my favorite Michigan player of all time, next to the great Charles Woodson. He had a DUI. That brother is on Indeed right now looking for a job. Like that was a okay, bro. We get it, but you're supposed to be looking after these kids, and how can you be setting the example? And we know you got the role. We love you. Thank you for beating Notre Dame. Thank you for beating Ohio State. Thank you for winning the Sugar Bowl. We'll holler at you, bro. Like that's how we get down up there in the U of M. So that's just crazy that Georgia's doing that. Now, Jarrell says that the Bulldogs definitely need an Uber endorsement. Like all jokes aside, and sharp hat, by the way. All jokes aside from that, don't they get NIL money down there?
Right. That's the whole thing.
But look at it in the grand scheme. How many entertainers, athletes, whatever, still get pulled over for DUIs when they have Uber?
Y'all,
this goes beyond. I'm taking this outside of Georgia. Why is it people don't feel like they can pull up Uber or get a Lyft when you know you've been drinking?
To lose your license is far more expensive than a $30 drive from downtown Dallas to McKinney.
Or why don't they just? I mean, they have enough money, like you said. It's Georgia. They have enough money. Why don't you have some type of sponsorship program to where it's like fans can pick up these players?
That's why I left this comment up there. Go ahead, Tasha.
Let me speak to that, Mike. One thing that Prime was saying, was it Prime? I'm not going to put anything on Prime, so if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. All the kids now got this NIL money. They buying cars.
Yes, they are. They want to show those cars off.
Yep. Yeah. So if you want to go somewhere, you want to flodge and whatnot, you're going to get in your ride.
How many times have you heard someone say this, Tasha, back in the 90s? Oh, I drive better when I'm drunk. Remember that old line, that old farce?
I mean, I can admit I've had a few too many.
He said, so I've heard.
Lord, if you just let me make it down this street.
Look, in the interest of fairness, there was one time I was coming home from a Memphis Grizzlies Dallas Mavericks game about 10 years ago. I worked downtown. I walked to the game, had several. And I do remember saying on the way home on the tollway, if you could just keep my eyes from crossing on this line. Like, so I get it. It does happen. We've all had scares to where when you finally turn that corner and see your house, you like, whoo, that was a close call. But come on now. There wasn't no Uber back when we were 17, 18, 19.
No.
You had to get somebody's mama to go. And then how you going to do that when you're drinking? Mama going to know you've been drinking. It's just crazy that they don't have another system in place. I personally think Kirby Smart needs to start coming under fire for this. The NFL has no questions asked car service, and they still right. That's a nice little bow on that, actually. Right. So I guess, but with all of that said, and y'all have made some fantastic points. Langston, Jarrell, everybody, you, Mike, y'all made great points. But why Athens? Why aren't we seeing this at Oklahoma State? Why aren't we seeing this at Michigan? Why aren't we seeing this at the University of Tennessee?
But that also makes you wonder if it could be happening at those places, and the cops are just saying, go ahead.
Oh, so you're saying this is more of an accountability issue within the police? Yes, Martrice. Oh, we have some stories.
I'm gonna tell y'all this one real fast. Have y'all ever been driving and you thought you were wide awake, and all of a sudden you hear?
Oh yeah, Texas has those big time. The you about the dial rails.
All I know is once I thought I was awake, and all I heard was to Teresa's point, all four windows immediately went down, and I sat up like this and drove.
And did you ever notice that when you do that all the cars behind you speed up and zoom around you?
And I wasn't even drunk. And then mind you, I hadn't been drinking because I had stopped drinking by this time. I was asleep, y'all. I fell asleep.
And I want to congratulate Langston because, again, all jokes aside, 9 years sober is awesome. And we're very, very, very happy for you on that. Good morning, Miss Hastings. Thank you for joining the conversation. So while we got Georgia on our mind.
Georgia.
Thank you, Tasha. Thank you. So I'll start with you, Mike. Can you kind of repeat what you told me off wax about what you think about Georgia's chances this year anyway?
I don't think they're going to win this year. I just feel a lot of unorganization right now. I feel like y'all got to think before they won their national title, they were getting owned. LSU, Alabama, they were like the Bills team of college football. And then they got over that hump, but like the true colors might start coming off here, and they got a lot of heavy hitters now and more in the SEC with the addition of Texas in there now. And I don't think they're going to make it to the championship game. I know they're a heavy favorite, but
if they start to go backwards, meaning 10 games to 9 games to 10 games to 9 games, Kirby Smart is out of there.
Yeah.
Because to both of you all made excellent points regarding parents, and with NIL money now, I'm like, so wait a minute, we got 12 teams in the playoffs now. You're not just one of the ones who's got a monopoly on the CFP. I can send my child somewhere else, and we can backdoor our way into a 12-team playoff, and I can still go see them in the Rose Bowl. I can still go see them play for a college football championship and make some good money while we do it. Georgia, you on the clock. We just now, Mike, tell your father-in-law, don't watch this episode. Right? Cut him off at the pass. We know Mr. Collins is a great man and a Georgia fan, but sorry, we had to do it. We talked about Michigan last year when they were going through their deal. We keep it consistent. Now, it's time for our debut installment of Countdown to Kickoff. Ladies and gentlemen, rookies report to camp start next week out there in the Bay for Tasha's San Francisco 49ers. They report on the 17th. I believe it's the 23rd for the Titans. We don't care about the Eagles, so we don't know when they report.
They already there.
Right. Jalen got them already primed and ready to go with A.J. Brown. So what's
Saquon
from Hard Knocks when the Giants GM was talking to Saquon and basically told him, get it how you live and then holler at us later.
Right. Right. And to Tasha's point, UT and OU entering play may affect Georgia as well. Titans get Jamal Adams, Klanga. So Denise, since you put in Klanga, I'm not gonna give you my real thoughts on Jamal Adams.
Yeah, we gonna always go Klanga because it ain't gonna be no Bulldog, the Mississippi State Bulldog slander. But Sasha, the Klanga may be them cans that's drugged behind that just married.
It might be a cling.
Mike, let me look at Mike.
Didn't can out.
Didn't can out. Like we were doing good, getting players off the name brand shelf. Now we done gone back to the Dennett can out. Y'all, Jamal Adams, man, like for real, like. Come on, man. Like, nah, man. Like I love you, Nisi Poo, but nah, that's danga. That ain't no clanker. That man is broke down. His check engine light was on when he showed up off the plane. Like, I don't see it.
Leaking oil.
No, she's like, hold on, he went to LSU. No, that ain't my school.
Where did Jamal Adams go?
Well, he's gone to the infirmary the last 3 or 4 years. That's where he went. He's been down in Shady Pines. You said, don't you think it's about time?
LSU, so Denny Can Al on line 4.
Okay, now we're gonna get into IU. We're gonna spare Tasha that when we get into the thing because y'all in trouble if y'all pick Debo over IU. But we're gonna get into that today. We will focus on the NFC South. We want to start off with a one-word answer from Mike and Tasha. Mike, is this the worst division in football?
Dang. I mean, I'm trying to think about another bad division. I'll say yes.
Tasha, this is the worst division in football. Yeah, it is. Well, okay, can we get a verbal answer for the people on the podcast?
Yes.
Yes. All right. What's more likely? Tasha, we're going to reverse it. I'm going to start with you, Tasha. What's more likely to happen this year? That a team from the NFC South wins 2 playoff games or that no team in the NFC South finishes with a winning record? Which is more likely?
I mean, didn't Tampa Bay win the division and they was
That's why I said 2 playoff games because one of them going to get to host a home game just for winning the division.
Because you listen to quarterbacks. I don't think Kirk Cousins is going to be ready to play, which leaves Michael Penix in as a possible starter. You got Mayfield, Carr should have been gone. And who's the other quarterback?
Bryce Young for Carolina.
Oh, blessed Jesus. I mean, he did get a nice little receiver. Look, they need to, you know how they did when they redid it. They need to redo
the realignment. Yeah,
they need to realign these divisions again because that's just not fair.
This is like Langston said it best in the one-word answer. Terrible. It's terrible. Why do you think we get them out the way before training camp?
And it's like you got good players on, especially skill position players on each team.
Yes, I agree with that. That's fair.
I think something was wrong with Bijan this year. He was injured. They didn't want to just really sit, or either maybe they just didn't know how to use Bijan.
Arthur Smith fumbled him, and it got him up out of there.
Yeah.
That's what happened. Arthur Smith.
They didn't really know how to use Bijan, but again, I think maybe he may have been a little dinged or a little nicked, and they just didn't really say something because you don't go from what you did in Texas to Atlanta and be like cricket.
he was made a first round fantasy football bust, not of his own volition. There were games where he had less than 5 carries. One game he didn't get a carry in the first half. I thought he was injured.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe he was a little dinged, a little nicked, and we didn't know. But I mean, I kind of lean more to they just didn't use him right. With Bryce Young, again, I'm not going to put the height in there because you have had shorter quarterbacks who have won, but they didn't really have anything for him there. It goes back to almost kind of like with Shedeur, how they were saying, his offensive line. But my thing is, damn, didn't that offensive line get y'all them first 4 wins, the same one? But anyway, I digress. But like you got to have certain players, give certain players help. I think Bryce Young will be okay if he gets help. I'm not. Derek Carr needs to go on and call it a career. Tampa is probably the only team that I would say would probably
have a chance to win a couple of playoff games. They did take Detroit to the fourth quarter after beating Philadelphia in the wild card round. So, I mean,
that wasn't even no game. Come on now.
I think it's more likely that the division winner finishes with a losing record than one of those teams win 2 playoff games. Now, Langston said, who are the coaches of the 4 teams? Because I don't know. See, that's the problem. That's why they're the worst division in the NFL, because what the Carolina coach was the former offensive coordinator for Tampa Bay. New Orleans coach, Atlanta has a new coach, and we got Todd Bowles still holding down the fort at Tampa Bay, which the most experienced veteran coaches, it's not even a coincidence that the stability at their head coaching is the reason why Tampa Bay's won the last 3 division titles in the NFC South. Now, Jarrell agrees with you as far as the offensive line play last year for the Panthers. He said they had a nice draft. If they protect the QB, they could – what? Oh.
I mean,
Jarrell, what is in that cigar in your profile picture?
I mean, it is because, like I said, he's what, 5'10", how tall is he? He's not that tall. When you have a quarterback that's already has a challenge against him, which is considered, I mean, Kyler Murray is what, 5'6" on a good day?
Yep.
But they did have a decent line over down there in Arizona for him to kind of, people put the controls down.
Yeah. And they had a running game. James Conner was really serviceable last year for
exactly. So, look, the NFC
that's a big one, though. I mean, that's a big ask. Like, if he gets protection, like that's a lot of teams' problem. Like, come on.
We've been screaming that for 2-3 years now, getting all our quarterbacks hurt. We're going to digress on the Titans. We got plenty of time for them to shake salt on the Titans. Now, who do you think, Mike, is the biggest threat to Tampa Bay winning 4 straight division titles? I'm going to – since Jarrell brought Carolina up, we'll say Carolina or Atlanta or New Orleans.
I would say Atlanta. I think they're in a good position. If Kirk Cousins stays healthy or if he gets hurt and Michael Penix is just that one – I think they have a good system put in place as far as the talent that they have. I do think that they have a decent offensive line. I think they can use Bijan in a better way. I think they just needed a quarterback that can just run it or run like the scheme.
Right.
I think they could do it. I like their defense of what they're building there. So I would pick Atlanta.
I'm going to go with the Falcons as well, simply because the last time we saw Kirk Cousins, he was actually leading the league in touchdown passes before he went down.
There y'all go.
5,000 yards. That's why I wanted Tasha to go last. He was on his way to 5,000 yards.
I don't care.
I mean,
he still sold a Chuck E. Cheese sleeve worth of Wolf tickets to everybody, and y'all bought them. I didn't buy them. Y'all bought all them Wolf tickets and couldn't cash them in. That's like you're going up there and you want a stuffed animal, a teddy bear. And they say, oh, no, it's 1,000 tickets. And you got 999.
I got 999 problems, but Kirk ain't one. Because Kirk Cousins is going to drop 5 stacks this year if he stays healthy. 5 stacks, 5,000 yards season. All right? He got Drake London, who's he's kind of some count. Kyle Pitts, we're going to finally untap his potential because he's been a bust. And you're going to protect him with Bijan being the lead back. Now, they got that other guy they was deploying.
What I think is going to happen, because he's scared, because they drafted Michael Penix, he's going to rush out there, and he's going to re-injure himself. And then you're going
They got $100 million in guaranteed money tied up in old Kirk. Kirk, you got to let Kirk go out there and sling that thing around in the Georgia Dome. Kirk Prescott. Now, did y'all see Dak at the wedding last night?
Someone said he's been in Dallas too long, is what they said.
Look, y'all, 2-15 loading if Dak is out there doing the damn Dougie at a wedding. You need to be somewhere on the center throwing the CD. Get your ass.
Why you out in Cancun with a boot on your foot? What's really going on with that?
Right. Hitting the Quan and doing all of that. No, bruh. You see what Green Bay did to y'all last year? What the hell are you doing? Like, it's the lack of self-awareness with the Cowboys that drives me. Y'all ain't gonna do this to me today. Mike, I think you weren't on the show after the draft, so we didn't get a chance to get your thoughts on Wax. But I want to ask you this. Now that we've had time to kind of digest this situation, you didn't really care for the Michael Penix pick at pick 8 after signing Kirk to a lucrative offseason deal, did you? I just want you to give you a chance to explain why.
No, the main reason why is Michigan had a top-notch defense, number one defense. That's why one of the reasons why they won the national title. So you're going to see, or he saw NFL caliber defensive players. And I mean, it could have been an offensive line problem. And, Atlanta does have a better offensive line than what he had at Washington. So maybe that'll help. But the pressure that he got that game, he just looked out of whack. And so until I see something different with him being under pressure, that's like the number one thing that kills new quarterbacks in the NFL. It's like they just can't handle the pressure and then they just fold. So, I mean, I'm excited to see what he does under the pressure. But if he doesn't change, he can't get over that hump.
I see both sides of it, and I'm going to come to you, Tasha, to put a bow on the Atlanta topic. I see both sides because as a Titans fan, and a lot of people watching from Tennessee and understand what I mean by this, other than Steve McNair and 2 years of Kerry Collins and 2 years of Ryan Tannehill, they've had shoddy quarterback play for the better part of the last 15 years. So if you think that you can go and get your quarterback of the future, I can understand why you would reach to go get a guy, because without a quarterback in today's game, you are toast. However, as a fan of the Falcons, I would have liked to see you go get me another weapon to go with Kirk this year. Roma Dunze or Mitchell from Texas. Yeah. You could have traded back, got some additional picks, and picked up a quality wide receiver late in the first round and give Kirk some weapons. But you're going to drop this replacement after giving him $180 million contract, Atlanta.
You know what that's telling me? Atlanta got money to boing.
You got money to... Did y'all see Arthur Smith looking at that GM in that draft room?
Yeah, I saw it.
Sasha, have you ever seen your mama look at you like that after you said something under your breath and you better go on and leave the room? I know AP Coach has given me that look more than one time when she said, what you say? And you look back and you see how she's looking through your soul. Arthur Blank. All of y'all gone if this thing goes awry with Penix. I'm going to just tell you that right now. I like Penix. He could have went to Seattle or somewhere else where he could have started right away. Right, hold on, wait a minute. She says, I pray for you, man. Your mom's is something. Yo, is that a Jordan Love type pick? Tasha, is that a Jordan Love type pick?
No. I think it's a different circumstance because I really think that old Lyron was making them think that he was going to call it quits. So they had to get that reassurance.
Right. I think it was a panic move, but once Penix fell, I think that there was no way. I think if you were not going to play him this year, you probably would have stood a better chance of dropping back and then getting McCarthy. If you was just going to bring him along slowly and not start him this year, I want to see Penix on the field this year. But I don't want him to go ahead of Kirk though, because
I truly think Penix would have still been available.
I do too.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah,
I do too.
He was projected way lower. Yeah.
Even though he had higher, draft grades and a little higher stock than some others, but I still think he would have been there.
Right. He says, but Green Bay always making that type pick. Some organizations just get it right. Baltimore always gets a good middle linebacker and a good safety. Tennessee always gets a good running back. Dallas always gets a good wide receiver. Some teams just get certain things right. Edge rusher, go to Pittsburgh. Oh, you're gonna develop. You're going to turn into a monster. The defensive lineman, San Francisco. You could name them all the way back to Brian Young back in the 90s.
Yeah.
And
linebackers.
And
Yeah.
linebackers.
We
Oh, yes,
used to get
and linebackers.
We used to get them safeties, and we used to get them. Yeah,
Patrick Willis is one of my favorites. So
yes, and well deserving of his gold jacket because I think people kind of forgot about him because they weren't winning Super Bowls.
Not defensive players.
And you had him and Navarro Bowman back there.
Yes, and the tandem they got right now is the top tandem in NFL. So I think Green Bay is just doing that with the quarterback like other teams do with other positions.
I mean, because you think they did with the welfare queen. Because again, he was vacillating back and forth about what he was gonna do. If he was gonna steal funds from the poor, or if he was gonna come back and suit up. Then again, old Lyron did it again. He did
them picks.
Lyron,
you ain't never seen a salt and pepper bush, have you? Go ahead. Go ahead, Tasha. No, don't log out. No, go ahead.
How you log out of this?
No, go ahead. No, y'all don't log out. Y'all, no, I need y'all. Go ahead.
And I'm pretty sure that went over people's heads, so I am not.
No, good. That's why I'm like, go ahead. Go ahead.
So, I mean, I think that's kind of like a pattern in Green Bay. They'd rather be safe than sorry. And I can't blame them for that. But when it comes to Atlanta, I don't necessarily think it was a safe and sorry because there were other options at quarterback. And this is not to come down on Penix Jr. because I think he'll be good.
Right.
But you had.
He don't help you this year.
You could have got somebody in free agency. You could have got somebody via trade to be a backup.
Right. You know, Tyrod Taylor's always working a 1-year deal.
With one long. Thanks.
Right. With one long and 1 year. I give you 1 year and then ship me off somewhere else. I'm going to start 4 or 5 games, win 2 or 3 of them. Then I'm going to move on down the road. And Mike said this on draft night. He was like, you got to give your quarterback some help. If you make that kind of investment, $100 million guaranteed into a quarterback that's coming off an injury, you need to make sure he's in a position to win now because you don't know how long it's going to be before that thing pop again. And so that's just it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, right here at the Extra Point with T Sizzle and Michigan Mike, we don't cover the X Games. We are the X Games. Go to your favorite sports podcast and see if they can produce any pictures that I'm about to show you because we had an X Games adventure the last few days. And producer Mike, cue it up. See, last weekend, Michigan Michael Hasso had a very interesting birthday weekend. Mike, take it away. How did you like your skydiving exercise last week?
Yeah, so my wife gave me and Paul tickets to skydiving for my birthday. She was like, here you go. I'm not going with you because I'm afraid of heights, but you have fun with your best friend. And so we went ahead and did a lot. On the 6th. So this is what we did. There's Paul right there. And then there's my picture right there.
That is terrifying seeing the plane in the background.
14,000 feet in the air, flying down about 120 miles per hour. Yeah, it was wild.
Stephanie Coulter checking in. Living your best life. I'm here for it. How was it? Mike, how was it?
I mean, it's hard to explain. I mean, even I was talking to Stacy last night and she was like, tell me the feeling. Is it like, like your stomach drops? I was like, yeah, it's like your stomach drops, but then when you finally jump, it drops even further to where you didn't know that your stomach could drop even more. Right. That nothing in this life has ever given you. And then you're just like, oh, and then after that, then it kind of settles down and you kind of enjoy it a little bit more.
Mike, I'm glad that you said that before I post what Langston just called us, LOL. But that to me, there's when you're right there at the door, when that door opens and the wind starts gushing through the plane, and your trainer has you looking out and over the sky, there is a piece that comes over to you, like, okay, I'm dead, like this is over, for me. The video didn't show me saying, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God." I cut that out for purposes. But Mike saw it.
I do have that video. Yeah.
Oh my God, oh my God,
oh my God.
I was like, "Oh my God, oh my God," and then when we went over, I just released it. Me and Tasha have always said, "Lord, catch me in the air." There was literally. Yeah. I was like, "This is over." Now that first 5 seconds, I couldn't breathe. I was hyperventilating. I had lost all control of my senses. I was like,
you have control of your bodily functions.
Right now, I did have some protection down there. just in case. I couldn't go home with no, to somewhere I could just take off and dump on my way home. So y'all have to catch that later on the replay. I have some protection. Damn it, you don't be friends with Tasha for 30 years without having a plan B. But like to Mike's point, your stomach drops at a rate that your body's not used to. And one thing that I think that people don't understand about doing a thing like this, once your dopamine comes down, you are exhausted. Don't plan anything after a skydive. Go home and lay down and go to bed. Now, y'all think Tasha was just sitting around cooking and cleaning while we was jumping out of a plane? Oh no. Tasha said, hold my Dominican beer, because she took the plunge. Her Presidente. Natasha, the floor is yours. Tell us about your experience the other day.
So, y'all, this is called the 27 Waterfalls. And the thing is, I love The Amazing Race, and I saw this on The Amazing Race. On The Amazing Race, they were running. What you have to do, you have to climb basically the mountain to get to the top so you can come down these waterfalls. Now, we did the 7 because of the lack of rain. The 27 is there's not enough water for you to do things. So this is the one you see the jump. This was the last jump, which was about maybe 12 feet. That it doesn't look that high. It's about 12 to 15 feet from that plank to that water. Now, the first jump, it was shorter, but the water was deeper. The water was about 25 feet deep, which is almost the middle of the ocean. That's how deep, but the drop was shorter. So that one, that's okay. When you see me going down this slide, guys, I literally almost lost my life going down not jumping into the water, but going down this natural water slide, because and he told you, he says, don't open your arms. Keep your arms like this, he says, or you'll get a Dominican souvenir, which means it's going to scratch your arms. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, dude, and my nephew had gone and his girlfriend had gone. And by the way, Jennifer cannot swim, and she was so nervous. Anyway. So we get there, and as soon as I sit in that water, I said, shh. When I had no time to really hold my breath. So, I'm under the water. I'm waiting for myself to come up. For whatever reason, I thought I was up, and I inhaled probably half of that stream. And for those of us who, have some sort of I'm not the best swimmer, because I've jumped in the middle of the ocean in Belize. I've jumped out here in Sosua Beach. I've jumped off of boats into the middle of the ocean. So that's not the thing. It is so hard to swim with a vest on. So after I finally get the water out of my lungs, so we did 2 jumps and 3 waterfalls. And the other ones you just kind of walk down. If you just go down the ladder, and but you have to swim to the next. First of all, the hike in water shoes, and it's rocks, it's everything else.
I'm looking at the shoe game, yeah.
My feet still hurt. And walking up, you're basically walking up a mountain for maybe 3 miles. A 3-mile hike with it the whole time. It's accelerating for 3 miles. And you're going up, some of them have steps. But it was so exhilarating, and it was an adrenaline rush, especially on that last jump. When I got to that platform, I said, now, mind you, I had already did the other jump, but the jump was not that far. I stepped over there, and I just took a step back. I was like, oh my God. I was like, can I do this? And so he kept telling us to hold our nose, and I was like, why is he telling me to hold my nose?
I asked you that too. Like, why was you holding your nose?
I'm glad I did, because I think and then, oh my God, if you guys ever do any type of jumping like that, when I see, if you go to Jamaica at Rick's Cafe, they jump off the side of the cliff, and it is way steeper than that. Y'all, my ass was hurting because I didn't keep my body necessarily straight, so I kind of bent, so it went feet and ass. My ass hit the water. My ass was sore from that jump. That's how high that jump was. It didn't look like it in that photo, but that's how high that jump was.
Mike said something last week on the ride home that speaks to what you just said, and I felt it completely myself. Yeah, she's told you to stick to the rivers and the lakes that you used to, Tasha. When they give you them instructions before the big reveal, that okay, that shit goes out the window when you go live. I forgot what to do. I was supposed to pull the parachute. I forgot. He was like, "Well, I guess I'll pull this before we go hit the earth." Like, I forgot. I forgot. Like, so I get that. As the happy birthday's coming in, she said, "Tasha, you got some kahunas grandes." Martrice said
the first jump, even though the water was deep. I mean, the water was deep where we jumped off of that last jump. And he told us, he says the water is probably about 25 to 30 feet deep right here. We were like, how? But it was the side of a mountain. And like I said, the jump was it was probably 5 feet into that water. So that's like, I'm in here I am. That last jump, my heart was like, because he was just like, yeah, just walk and step. I looked, and I was like, you have got to be shitting me. I was like, I can't. And then again, my nephew's girlfriend went and she can't swim. And she was like, don't y'all, I'm scared. But when she did it, I was like, shit. I was like, Jennifer did it. So I know I have to.
Yeah. That's how it goes, Tasha, because of Mike, not scared of nothing on Terminator 2 looking.
But the thing is, I would rather jump out of the plane because how many times do I tell y'all? If I'm going to die, I want that shit to be instantaneously. I don't want to go on a cruise and be like the Titanic and hold a plank of wood.
Right, where Earth, Wind, and Fire is playing September as I'm cresting off into the cold water.
Right. If I'm going to die, I'd rather just and I'm just gone. I don't want to have like a murky death where I'm inhaling water. And it was like I was so scared for nothing because as soon as I jumped, I was like, oh. And, you go to the water and then, like I said, I just, you relax and you just come up to the top. But I was so tired from the hike. Yeah. And I was so tired from swimming. Like if you saw the video that I posted, somebody said, "Were you drowning?" I said, "No." I said, "I was so tired. I was just trying to roll over on my back." Like I was so tired, exhausted. So when I got up, I came up and then I just turned around and I just started floating on my back. I had no strength or energy left to swim back to the side.
Right. No, Mike, you here with family now. You here with your TEP crew. You're here with the Goon Squad. Now let's have a moment of transparency. Was there any point to where you felt butterflies before you fell out of that plane?
Yeah, you definitely get butterflies like right when you step. Because you have to step and wait for your guy at the edge of the plane, and so you're just staring at the 14,000 feet. And to be honest, that's the number one thing that surprised me was the height. Because they say, because we had a video crew with us, and they're like, how far are we up? And you have this little watch thing, and it's like 6,000 feet. And you look down, and you're like, dang, that's high. Like, we got to go another 6,000 feet more than this.
Right.
It was high. That was probably the time that it was like butterflies for sure at the edge.
Well, okay, good, because I felt like I was a wimp because Mike was so stone cold Steve Austin about it on the way home. Now, AP Coulter says, where's the video of y'all's feet hitting the earth? Now, we did an edited video for social media. I will send you the full video, Mom.
This is courtesy of CBS, so don't be suing us. Like, this is the same thing. Like he was running down the steps on the Amazing Race to get to the plank to jump. And, like, when I tell y'all, going, and they were running, but I guess they had $1 million on the line. It's no way in hell I could have ran up that mountain.
Now, y'all know I want to do an Amazing Race.
Shoes, and we had on like aqua socks, water socks. It was the rocks and stepping up. You have to march to the base of the mountain and then walk up the mountain. I was so tired from that.
Shouts out to Farrah checking in, y'all. Farrah is a basketball and sports savant. She is a women's college basketball fan. She has some great connections within the basketball community. She is a Broncos fan. She's from the Carolinas. She will be on the show very, very soon.
Okay,
glad to have you. The Mike, she a Broncos fan, so you know we about to light that ass up. But she is. She said, "Ain't no way." No. Hey, we can't wait to get you on the show. She is on the mend from just getting over COVID. So glad to see you healthy and back up. And Adam Farrell, we will have you on very soon. Just have your people get with our people, and we'll make that happen. When the Saints go marching in, correct. That was amazing. Now, what we going to do next, y'all? What zip lining? What we going to do next?
I'll show
you. This is the video, y'all. Yakao! Mike, you think we can do that?
Yeah, I can do that.
I mean,
Mike
again,
has a pool with about that deep, so yeah, we can do
it's
that.
not the fact that y'all. I'm serious. When I got to that ledge, because I was fine going down those waterfalls, sliding. I mean, that waterfall is like soon as you sit down.
Yeah, I saw your nephew out there. He was like, boom, 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 boom. I was like,
you get 1 or 2 scoops on your ass cheek, and you like the water literally like whisk you. You're like, damn, I don't even. So by the second waterfall, soon as I sat down, I was over there like this. Like I was ready because I was like, not this time, Satan. I'm not.
Right. Okay. Now I think we need to do a poll. Right. She said God gave us feet, not wings. I think we need to do a poll and let the Goon Squad pick our next adventure because Tasha will be here in a few months. And now that everybody's in their X Games swag, we're gonna see what the people have for us next. Maybe I'd like to do the little thing where you're behind the boat and you on the little skis. I don't know what that's called.
talking about jet ski?
Jet ski or something like that.
Or water ski?
Or water skiing. I would love to do something like that. Mike, who are you shouting out this week?
I'm gonna shout out my wonderful wife that gave me this experience. And then also the fans. I'm ready for football. I'm ready for football to be back. It was a long time. Shout out to college football for actually making this game happen too.
Yes, Langston, drop your username on and if you PS5 or Xbox, I think they're gonna have crossplay on that like they do 2K. She said just go tubing, yo. We can look into tubing. I've never been tubing either. Yeah, so Farrah, look like you X Games too.
Like how you get on the Sasha did the thing where you get on the banana and she did that where the boat drags you behind.
Listen, look at Martrice gonna just put us back out there parasailing. I want to do something closer to the earth this time, Martrice. I mean,
the fact that parasailing be slamming you into the side of buildings sometimes.
Martrice got our popcorn ready. Okay, y'all. Hey, Mike, screenshot this. He's West Nash up. And when you Mike, what's your username on PS5?
St. Michael 54, I believe.
You are so
ST Michael 54.
Okay, and I'm Thug Flutie. Find your boy on there and because I'll be. She said, and can't swim a lick. Tasha.
Hey, Farrah, this is me and Steve riding jet skis in the Cayman Islands. She's a Broncos fan, Farrah. So you
got a Broncos fan. That's a friend of the show, Farrah. So Mike, we got to get on some jet skis. We can't let Tasha outdo us.
Y'all ain't get on jet skis?
That's fine. Yeah.
No,
I have.
Real skiing, but not jet skiing.
I've been jet skiing.
And this is me and Steve snorkeling in Belize. Like I said, we had to jump off the boat to get into that.
Wait a minute, Tasha, you've been holding back all these X Games pictures? She said all the all-time photographer from the ground. No, but Martrice, I'm with you. I got the picnic basket the next time these two decide to jump out of a plane. I got the picnic basket, and we're going to do it just like that. Tasha, who you shouting out this week?
I'm actually shouting out our friend to the show, our straight A student, our prize student, our summa cum laude, Melanie Taylor, her daughter Morgan.
All right.
When I sent Morgan a message to remind her mother, hey, make sure you tell your mom that we're on today. Now they were having their Delta convention, and Morgan says she woke me up. She said I was so mad. She woke me up because she was listening to y'all while we were in the hotel room.
All right. That's right. Get up.
Putting up with us listening to the show last week while you were trying to get your rest so y'all can go to your Delta convention and tear up the town.
Tear up the town. I want to send a shout out to Farrah for getting back on the men. I miss you. I miss talking sports with you at work. We will see you on the show soon.
Hey, Farrah, quick question. Farrah, you in Dallas, right?
Oh, yes, he's in Dallas.
When I come, I need to know who I need to get my locks tended to.
Oh, she got you. She got you on that. We will definitely make sure that we link up with her. I want to give a shout out to RJ. Hey, RJ. Hey, RGZ. She's like, hey, I'll leave my snack on. She says, now you have a Zeta friend. Okay. She got you.
And I got another one back home. Her name is Kelly. She went to somewhere in Missouri, Southwest Missouri or something like that.
AP Culture is shouting out all you guys for truly enjoying life. Go Blue. Hey, that's a mic drop right there. So, hey, Michigan Mike, Touch T Sizzle, we are out of here. We'll see y'all next week with another preview. Until then, go Blue. How do you say this?
Go Blue.
Vamos Azul.
We'll see you next week. Peace.